Hello everyone, LRon here with part 41 of my NGN Dark Souls run. So here is our bonfire. This bonfire is a warping bonfire, unlike the other bonfire at the other end of Ash Lake. So this was the real reason why we came all this way, because we want a way to get back to here without having to drop down all of those stupid tree things. And we decide we're gonna smash this guy's tail because he'll just sit there and take it. And he doesn't care that you stole his tail. He's gonna just sit there. He's like, yeah, I'm the greatest thing in the universe. It's like, okay. Well, we're gonna go leave now. See ya. And so now we are back in Firelink, and we're going to do the second set of Firelink dialogue with Sigmir's daughter. And so now we are finally flagged to properly complete the sequence. So now we are going to go back, and it's like, okay, now we're never going to see that guy again. So we're going to sprint on through. I think I'm going to skip the oysters this time. We'll wind around and around. We can't just go in a straight line because there's an infinite fall, and in case you didn't know, undead people cannot swim. So, we gotta be kind of careful and don't try to go swimming. Then also, some of this mound of ash is extremely steep. So there are some spots where if you were to go over the edge there, you just slip straight into the water. So now we're going to get to the dramatic ending of the Sigmir sequence. So Sigmir finally went completely batshit hollow, and his daughter had to kill him. And so then she decided she, doesn't really want to do anything with her life anymore, so she gives her hard-earned slab to us. And speaking of hard-earned stuff, we're going to turn in our Erlenmeyer shards, or Firekeeper souls, rather. In 2 and 3, the Firekeeper souls get replaced with Erlenmeyer shards. So I end up using the wrong lingo for this game. But in any case, now we're going to go over to Anarlondo. And then I'm going to kill this Firekeeper so we have a Firekeeper soul in pocket at all times since we consumed all of the other ones. And we're not going to need this bonfire anymore. And I believe I've mentioned already earlier in the cohort that this bitch will fight us once we kill Gwendolyn anyways. So she serves no real purpose, and she would be a liability alive later on. And then I completely forget that I needed like the Southern Ritual Band or some very specific ring that I don't have. And I had quickly looked it up and found out that the location was not somewhere that was going to be doable for us at the time. It's something like catacombs or something. And we're not doing catacombs just yet. We're still doing other stuff. So now, what am I doing next? Yes. I must be going into the DLC land at this point, if I'm going this way. And then do I finally kill that crystal lizard? Yes, I'm going to archery it and kill it. And so now we're going to come all the way down here. And I think as insurance, I decide I'm going to use this bonfire here. You don't really need to go all the way down here just to double back up. But I think my grand master plan was to skip the golems and, oh, no, I'm not even going to skip the golems. I'm going to just duke them out. Well, how about that? So now we're gonna keep running. So I guess there really was no point at all in resting at that bonfire, except if you have this feeling that there's a chance you might die before getting to this spot here. So this spot will only do this if you've picked up that damaged pendant or broken pendant or whatever that thing was called over at the beginning of the Duke's archives. And so we get a bonfire right here, and then we're going to be started right off the bat with a boss. This is one of the more challenging bosses to solo, at least in my opinion. He is pretty heavy on the lightning-based attacks, and so he's going to be able to whittle away at us even with our shield raised, because the lightning resist, the lightning resist on this shield is not spectacular. I forget what it is specifically, but I also know that I don't necessarily have a shield of choice that specifically targets lightning, because it's actually rare to encounter a opponent that is lightning based, except in PvP. And since we have been spending most of our time in undead form, we generally have not been worrying too much about that possibility. And generally, when I am not in undead form, I've often been in a situation where I am co-oping for a respectable amount of the time, which means that basically there's a kind of a divide and conquer bit to it. So you don't have to have your shield up all the time and be super defensive. You could just tumble a bit while the other person whittles away at them. So that always works out. And that's also boldly assuming that someone decides to actually go out and PvP using lightning in the first place. It's kind of uncommon. I've maybe seen one guy use lightning-based miracles on me in a PvP situation, and that is across all the Souls games. So I think there was a Dark Souls 2 scenario where I saw that. But yeah, I mean, basically, we're really just want to not get hit by these things of lightning, and whenever there is a kind of like a break in the action, that's when you want to cast. And because we were recently at a Firekeeper linked fire, we have 10 flasks to play with. That's very important. The more flasks we can bring into this, the better. It lets us be sloppy. It lets us take some of the smaller opportunities, the ones where we'd have enough time to get the cast off, but not enough time to get the cast off and dodge, which gives us a lot more opportunities to play with. And that's always good. And for whatever reason, this last little couple pixels of health take forever for me to do. I think he gets more aggressive with his attacks and doesn't leave as many good openings. I might at the end take a risk and get it done instead of healing, which of course is kind of risky, but I think it paid off. If that did happen. And it's just out of range there, so that's kind of a shame. Is this it? No, he bounces. Well, in any case, I believe this ends right when I kill him, so that'll be it for this video. I'll see you next video. Good luck, have fun.